Hey everyone, Anna here. Yay, I'm live once again. It's been a little while, but I felt inspired to share something with you that's been on my mind. And basically, I wanted to talk a little more about money mindset and what that means in terms of adjusting your sales and marketing in the new paradigm as you're shifting into the new paradigm with your business, especially, but it can also apply to anything else in your life, really. And if you're watching, then please say hi. If you are catching the replay, then hashtag replay in the comments. I would love to know, who's watching. And so there are two main shifts that I wanted to talk to you about today. Hi, Pernilla. So good to see you here. So there are two main shifts that I wanted to talk to you about today. There are definitely more things involved in shifting into the new paradigm in business and in our lives in general. Hi, Nico. So good to see you. And so the main two things that I wanted to share with you today, basically, we are, first of all, shifting from a scarcity mindset to a mindset of abundance, really embracing the truth of who we really are as completely unlimited divine creators in this reality. And so as we're shifting into the new paradigm, that is a really, really important part of how we are remembering to create our reality. So this has always been the truth, but we're remembering to create in this way, and it's going to be really, really important to embody that. In addition to shifting into more of an abundance mindset, hey there, Stephanie, so good to see you. So the other shift has more to do with stepping more into our authenticity, into our authentic self. So in the old paradigm, basically, when we're talking about marketing, for example, or sales, a lot of it has to do with image management, making a good impression on other people so they buy from us, and appearing professional, all those things. I'm not saying that these things won't be important at all, or that are, completely useless in the new paradigm, especially in terms of having a professional appearance. I definitely see the value of that. But in the new paradigm, we're really shifting much more into a space where we can show up as our authentic selves, and it's much more about expressing our truth, authentic self-expression, and so on. And so what does that mean in terms of creating money in the new paradigm? So again, in the old paradigm, what we typically do is, we have an idea, we have a goal, we have something that we want to create, and then we go into hustle mode, we go and take the action that is necessary to create whatever it is that you desire. Hi, Amelia, so good to see you. And typically, because we are coming from a place of scarcity, from a scarcity mindset, all right, Bella's saying hi. There is always some sort of sacrifice involved. And so basically the sequence is, okay, we decide what we want to create, and then we figure out the action. And yeah, there is typically some kind of sacrifice involved. And then eventually, sometime in the future, we will get what we desire. We're creating the money that we want or that we need in order to create what we desire, and then we'll get our reward. Now, in the new paradigm, this works a little differently. So basically, everything that you're doing in your business has to be aligned with your truth, with your joy. So the entire process becomes joyful. There's still value and structure and, strategy and aligning all of that in a practical sense as well. But you're not really coming from a place of, okay, I have this huge big plan and then I got to do this and that and this and that. And then eventually when I get to the result, I can be happy. Then I really get the reward. So the journey itself is fulfilling. The journey itself is magical, is a reward in itself. And so I think that's one of the main shifts and really something I've learned to embrace this year. And so both the journey and the result or the results are fulfilling, are creating more of that sense of joy. And so what we're focusing on is what we're creating more of. That's really important to remember. If you're focusing on making the journey joyful, then everything else that comes from that increases, accelerates, and expands in that same direction. All right, Bella. Yeah, she's a little jealous sometimes when I'm talking to somebody else. All right, the other thing is, okay, you get to be you, which I kind of already mentioned, and just being you is enough. You don't have to be anybody you're not. You don't have to pretend that you are somewhere you're not, and so on. And there are some challenges that can arise as we're going through this shift. I've experienced this myself very, very intensely. And so the first one is really facing our fears, facing the fear of what happens when we let go of everything that isn't true, that isn't authentic to us, that just isn't filling us with joy, that we know on a deep level is not aligned with our truth. There can be a lot of fear that comes up when we go through this process of letting go. And for myself personally, this has been really, really intense. And yeah, not always easy to deal with, but I'll share a couple tips with you in a moment. The other challenge is really believing on a deep level that you are enough, that just being you is enough, and really learning to embrace that sense of innate worthiness that's within all of us. We are worthy just for being here, just for existing, for, just being here on this planet and just being. But even if we understand this intellectually, it can sometimes be kind of challenging to embody that and to, really experience that in the physical. So what do you do about this? There are definitely a lot of things you can do. I mean, you can do your mindset work, your soul integration work, your healing work, whatever it is that works for you. But in terms of really creating that space for yourself where you can let go of what's no longer authentic, what's no longer true, what you feel isn't aligned with your purpose, your passion, whatever it may be for you. So what you really want to have is a strong foundation, and typically, or let's say ideally, both spiritually and physically on all levels, so mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. But I wanted to look at the spiritual and the physical foundation today. So these are typically the two places where you really want to focus. And so I've experimented with different ways of doing this, and what I've found is that basically it doesn't matter so much where you start. If you feel that your physical foundation is not strong enough, your physical foundation of support, and maybe you're in a place where you're not entirely sure how to handle that and how to create a better foundation, and you're feeling kind of lost, then I would always recommend starting with some spiritually aligned mindset work. One of my favorites is definitely The Abundance Book by John Randolph Price. Some of you may know it. Some of you may have been in my 40-day abundance challenge that I did earlier this year. And I would say for me, this has been the absolute best mindset practice because it really brings you back to the truth, the absolute truth of who you are. And so you're not just, digging through your blocks or, kind of eliminating your blocks, which, sometimes can be helpful to create that awareness, but sometimes because what we focus on is what we create more of and is what we experience. When we're spending too much time digging deep and looking for blocks and wanting to eliminate blocks, guess what happens? We basically, we create more of the same in the end. So it's kind of definitely good to be aware of that and keep that balance. So anyway, The Abundance Book by John Randolph Price. There's a 40-day prosperity plan in there. I really love practicing it. And right now I'm not doing the full 40 days, but sometimes when I get into a mindset of fear or scarcity, I just quickly go through the 10 statements. And even that can be enough to, get back into the right vibration, especially if we've done the 40-day practice before. And yeah, if you're feeling, on the other hand, that, you're doing all the spiritual work and nothing's working, then I recommend looking at your physical foundation, working more on the physical foundation and really creating the stability there, looking for ways to create more of a sense of support in the physical, and whatever that may mean for you. Okay, let me see if I have anything else here. I'm shivering a bit. I think it's a little cold in here. I'm actually not dressed too warmly, but I didn't start a fire today. So yeah, basically the only other thing that I wanted to share with you today in this video is if you want more support with this, then please reach out to me. I currently have some coaching spots available. I have two options to work with me right now. One is a 30-day intensive. Basically, you get a 3-hour intensive with me to start with to really realign your foundation, to work out your strategy for your next steps, and then you get 30 days of support via Voxer, which can be really, really helpful because you pretty much have access to me 5 out of 7 days a week. And yeah, so that can be really, really transformational. The other option I have is a 4-month mentorship. So that's if you really want some longer term support. And if you want to work with me in that setting, then you'll also get some bonuses right now. You'll get some Atlantean healing and also some tech support from my business partner, Marlene. So for example, you could use that to redo your website, do some work on your website, create an automated sales funnel, anything like that. And maybe also some graphic design, that kind of thing. And yeah, so if this sounds amazing, then please PM me, reach out to me, and we can talk some more about what this could look like for you and what would benefit you most on your journey right now. Okay, thank you so much everybody for watching. I see Amelia still here and Pernilla still here. Thank you for staying all the way to the end. And again, if you're watching the replay, then #replay down below. I would love to know who's watching this. So sending you much love, wishing you a happy weekend, and I can't wait to talk to you again soon.